You're watching ICENET, independently covering New York Islanders hockey past and present, bringing you the tradition and nostalgia you know and love with a modern feel. This is where Islanders tradition and pride are always our number one. Built by passion for the orange and blue. Isles coverage. Taking a step into the future by reaching into the past. ICENET. Dynasties live here.
But the team with recent championship pedigree has a rising level of frustration. A shot on a glove save by Robin Leonard, exceeded only by the rising decibel level of Nassau Coliseum.
Here's Everly driving to the Penguin net, back in, he scores!
Can the Islanders carry their momentum out of the barn and into the burn?
For the first time in 36 years, the Islanders have a 2-0 series lead.
Or will a change of scenery trigger a change in the Penguins' fortunes? It's Game 3 next. We welcome you to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. It's Game 3 of this Eastern Conference quarterfinal matchup. The Stanley Cup playoffs are presented by Geico. The Penguins host the Islanders. Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kenny Albert with AJ Malesko and Pierre McGuire inside the glass. Islanders won the first 2 games of this series on home ice. Now it shifts to Pittsburgh. AJ, for the Islanders, Jordan Everly, one of their stars, 2 points in each of the first 2 games, including the game winner in Game 2.
And he has certainly elevated his game for this playoff series. He's been vocal about his disappointment with his only trip to the playoffs back in 2017 with Edmonton. He said he's used it as motivation over the last 2 years, and even through the last couple weeks of the regular season, he started to get his offense going, reunited with Matt Barzal. And Barry Trotz says that he's rediscovered the joy in his game, and he said he's really dancing out there, and he's done it by getting to the interior. He's no longer a passenger. He is fully participating in this playoff hockey.
Everly tied for the NHL lead with 4 playoff points. On the other side, Pittsburgh Penguins have scored only 4 goals over the first 2 games. They do not have a goal from a forward over the last 4 periods. How can they change that?
Well, they're down 2-0 in this series, but they did start to generate more offense in Game 2, and they did it by getting pucks and bodies to the net. And it was, for them, they simplified it. And by putting pucks in play, they created some chaos, looking for possibly a bounce. And for Coach Mike Sullivan, he talked about his best net front presence, Patrick Hornquist, Sidney Crosby, Jake Gunsel, Zach Aston Reese, and he's going to look to them tonight to get to those dirty areas and create some offense.
Sidney Crosby, 2-time postseason MVP without a point in the series. He has been matched up often over the first 2 games against the Islanders' Casey Cizikas. Only pay for what you need. By Duncan, where there's hockey, there's Duncan. By TurboTax Free. And by the 2020 Lexus RCF Track Edition and RCF. Moments away from Game 3 in Pittsburgh. The Islanders have a 2-0 lead in a series for the first time since 1983. While the Penguins have fallen behind 0-2 in a playoff series for the first time since 2013. Islanders 4-3 in overtime in game one. On a goal from Josh Bailey. Robin Leonard leading the Islanders onto the ice here in Pittsburgh. Here come the Penguins, who lost game two by a 3-1 score. AJ Penguins look to get back into this series on home ice.
And they're going to try to take some of this energy from this crowd, see if they can turn this around, get within one.
Penguins have won 2 Stanley Cup championships over the last 3 years. They know what it takes in the postseason. It's game 3 from Pittsburgh. The opening faceoff is next.
They're on their feet at the Coliseum.
Here is Eberle moving in. He scores!
The Islanders have a 2-0 series lead.
Starting goaltenders for the New York Islanders. Robin Leonard, 2-0 in the series, has stopped 73 of 77 Penguin shots. Matt Murray, the only goaltender in NHL history to win 2 Stanley Cups in his first 2 seasons. Murray has lost 4 straight starts in the postseason. Sidney Crosby held off the score sheet in each of the first 2 games. Penguins get Jared McCann back, this game 2 with an upper body injury. He starts with Evgeny Malkin and Patrick Hornquist. Islanders start their very effective 4th line as usual, Cizikas, Martin, and Clutterbuck. Islanders with a 2-0 series lead as Jared McCann moves the puck deep into the Islanders zone. Hornquist in pursuit with Leddy. Matt Martin has it taken away by Malkin. McCann has a shot blocked by Johnny Boychuk.
Kenny, you talked about the 4th line starting for the Islanders. Marcus Pettersson and Eric Branson start on defense for the Penguins, so they want to neutralize the hammers of the Islanders pretty quick. So you dress the bigger bodies, you put them in the lineup right away to start the game. You send a message to the Islanders. You're going to play those guys, here's who they're going to have to play against. So Mike Sullivan and Barry Trotz engaged in a chess match already.
When that 4th line start, they got possession of the zone. The 3 of them got caught a little bit low, allowing a quick out for the Penguins.
Now Crosby on the ice with Jake Guentzel and Dominic Simone. Chris Letang from the right point, sends to the far corner. Guentzel on the puck for the Penguins, also scoreless over the first 2 games like Crosby. Now Simone wrists the puck around. Guentzel waiting along the right wing boards. In deep for Crosby. Defended by Adam Pelech. Crosby with room, looking to set up. Guentzel in front, could not connect. Brock Nelson up the boards into the Penguin zone. Dumoulin forced in deep by ex-Penguin Tom Kuhnhackl. Anders Lee over for the Islanders. Lee maintains control. Flips one wide of the net. Devon Taves moving in from the left point. Now Dumoulin with the puck for the Penguins. Guentzel, end of the long shift. Mayfield, quick transition to Matt Barzal. Barzal out to the point, shot by Taves, was blocked by the stick of Phil Kessel.
Guentzel's got to do a better job managing that puck right there.
Bjugstad had it taken away by Eberle. Lee clears the zone for the Islanders. Jack Johnson remains in the Penguin lineup. He was a healthy scratch in game 1. Big hit knocking the helmet away from Matt Barzal. Now Schultz winds it around. Johnson up the left side. Carried out by New York native Zach Aston Reese. Leaving it for Kessel. His shot deflects wide. Kessel 12 shots on goal over the first 2 games, more than any other Penguin. Just over 2 minutes gone, first period from PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh. Puck kept in the zone by Boychuk of the Islanders. Komarov into the corner. Beauvillier swings it out to the right point. Back to the near side it comes, and Garrett Wilson will clear it down ice for the Penguins. What have you noticed early, Pierre?
This is like a chess match personified right now early on for both coaches.
Some physical play. Jack Johnson sat out the first game, a healthy scratch, and Coach Mike Sullivan put him in for a little bit more of a physical presence, going after one of the young guys in Matt Barzal.
Well, he also has Sidney Crosby in the lineup because he wants to see his skill and his determination, his ability to take over a game. Pellick's engaged with Crosby. Crosby rolls off. Gensel wide open on the back door. Just can't handle. Great play by Crosby.
Evgeny Malkin with the puck onto the stick of Jared McCann. Out to Pettersson, a shot. That deflected wide. McCann looking to set up Hornquist in front. Rolled off the stick of Pettersson. Comes back out to Malkin. Getting a stick on that one was Val Filppula. McCann directs it back up the boards to Malkin. Out of the zone it comes. Goodbranson on the puck for the Penguins. Here's Simone back into the Islander zone. Kuhnhackl, 2-time Stanley Cup champion with the Penguins. Matt Martin circles back for the Islanders. Pierre mentioned the chess match between the coaches. They are facing one another for the 4th straight year in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Barry Trotz formerly with Washington. Here is Crosby. Backhand shot. And now Kuhnhackl able to get the puck out of trouble. Cleared down ice by Bailey.
Sullivan's definitely utilizing last change.
Gensel in behind the net, away from Crosby, held up by Taves. Nelson over for the Islanders. Brock Nelson kept it away from Simone. Puck cleared ahead by Bailey. Here comes Nelson with Eberle. Dumoulin is back. Eberle shoots, stick save by Murray. Murray could not gather the puck in. Letang over for the Penguins. He will clear.
He's going to have to get his game under control. Christopher Letang, he just gave up an odd man rush for no reason right there.
Goodbranson knocked down by Eberle. Lee sends the puck around. Comes to Mayfield, a shot. And now Goodbranson had it knocked away by Barzal. 5 minutes in, first period. No score, game 3 in Pittsburgh. Hustad down the left wing. Waiting for teammates. Barzal able to clear the puck out.
Good back check there by Matt Barzal.
This is Pettersson. Barzal in on the forecheck. Now Pettersson. Up the left side, blocked off by Filppula. Played at center by Leddy. Here comes Komarov. Rink wide pass to Filppula. Puck is loose. And a good play by Rust to keep Beauvillier away.
That would have been a goal if he hadn't.
That was how they scored a goal in game 2, Beauvillier in that area.
Here's Cullen. Out in front, and a save by Leonard.
And I think he got a little help from Leddy on the back door. There's a lot of energy going both ways right now. A lot of pace in this game, AJ and Kenny. And watch Leddy coming out here just getting physical with Rust so he can't get to that loose puck. Jordan Eberle right here, that 2-on-1 we were talking about. Letang overactive, puts it on goal, and Brock Nelson just can't get to it. And then at the other end, Sidney Crosby, you can see he's jumping through the defense on the back end, puts it on goal. Robin Leonard has to fight it off. Dominic Simone just can't whack it out of the air.
Well, that last chance by Crosby, he came off the bench. They got to make sure they keep an eye on that. Snuck in at the end of that shift.
Well, what the coach is reading on right now, AJ, is a long shift for some of these players for the Islanders, and he's changing on the fly, double shifting Crosby. That's where he's smart, breaking down the matchups. That's why I talked about it being a chess game.
Malkin on the puck now for the Penguins. Up the right side to Hornquist. Mayfield back for the Islanders. Now Malkin. Right point, Justin Schultz. Johnson back across to Schultz, who had 2 points in game 1. Could not connect with Malkin. Taves clears for the Islanders. Here's Clutterbuck. Back to Taves. Taves with a shot. Glove save made by Murray. 6.5 gone. First period in Pittsburgh, game 3. Islanders and Penguins, no score. The NBC Sports app. You can watch every game of the Stanley Cup playoffs live on multiple devices by downloading the app or visiting NBCSports.com/live. Progressive Insurance brings you Inside the Glass with Pierre.
Kenny and AJ, there are always little twists and turns in a series, and in this series, trying to get Sidney Crosby on the scoreboard for the Penguins, Dominic Simone now has been put on the right wing with Crosby and Gensel. One of the things I really like about Dominic Simone is hockey sense. They feel that he could play the give-and-go game with Sidney Crosby. He can also force turnovers on the forecheck. And we've seen Crosby off to a pretty good start here right now, AJ.
Well, one of the things that Mike Sullivan talked about with Simone is that they need to get Sidney Crosby the puck. He does well when they've got the puck on their stick. He said he's good in traffic, he's good in those battle areas, and shaking up the lines a little bit. They're down 2 in this series. They need to figure out how to create that offense that they've been missing.
Crosby in for the faceoff against Nelson. Nelson, Bailey, Kuhnhackl, forward line for the Islanders. Crosby, Gensel, Simone, puck off the skate of Crosby.
That's a terrible play by Brian Dumoulin. He's really lucky.
Sent back down by Kuhnhackl, retrieved by Dumoulin.
They need him to be much more consistent. Brian Dumoulin is such a key component for their team.
Dumoulin fires the puck in. In the skates of Pelech, bumped by Crosby. Kept alive by Letang for Crosby. Crosby knocked to the ice. Islanders clear the zone. Nelson for Kuhnhackl. Offside.
You know, you win a face-off deep in your own zone. You're coming in out of a TV timeout. You got to know where you're going with it. Right here, he's trying to force that puck through the middle to Sidney Crosby, who's not even ready for it. Skate your way out of trouble. Keep moving indirectly off the board so Crosby can go get it. He throws it into the dog pile and put his team in a very precarious position.
Good pressure there up by the Islanders off the face-off loss, trying to get that puck pursuit going.
Barzal and Bukestad. Islanders control the draw. Islanders won 56% of the faceoffs over the first 2 games.
Helps a lot when you're playing in a matchup series when you win a lot of faceoffs.
Sure does. Puck cleared out by Kessel. Penguins have iced it.
Make a Dunkin' run for a $2 pick-me-up and avoid the afternoon drag.
Should have got one for John.
Yeah. Sorry, John.
It's okay.
Get a $2 medium cold brew from 2 to 6 p.m. Try it a new delicious chocolate cherry. America runs on Dunkin'.
Islanders with 5 shots, Penguins just 2. Islanders control another face-off. Boychuk towards the net. Puck deflects to the corner. Aston Reese on it for the Penguins, and he flips it out into the neutral zone. Now Eberle, who has 4 points in the series. Nick Leddy for Matt Barzal. Dropping it off for Anders Lee. Back the other way come the Penguins. Gensel for Kessel. Kessel into the slot for Letang. Knocked off his stick, and then a shot by Gensel misses the net.
Mike Sullivan again, chess match, change on the fly, get Crosby away from the defensive matchup they want.
Crosby out for Letang. He misses the net with a shot. Now it is Kessel. Dumoulin for the far side, Letang. Onto the stick of Kessel. Picked off by Barzal. He was looking to set up Crosby.
One thing, Barzal's game has evolved this year, and those are the things that Barry Trotzy's helped him with. That back pressure, that defensive zone, being there as a center to support your defenseman.
Gensel heads off to the bench. So does Crosby.
Because they see Pulock and Pelech on the ice.
Talked about winning faceoffs for the Islanders. They win one here cleanly. Matt Barzal sees Johnny Boychuk. Regular season, Boychuk put everything on the net, and there he's trying to go for that slap pass in the back door, and it's awfully close from finding a bounce and hitting the back of the net. But Johnny Boychuk is not afraid to put pucks on net.
That's his calling card for sure, AJ. There's no question, not shy. And he's got a bomb from the back end. But you love his head positioning there. He's looking for the tip play. He's not looking to get that on goal. He's looking for the redirect. Great eye.
Boychuk playing in his 100th Stanley Cup playoff game.
2011 was a huge year for him and the Boston Bruins. Man, was he mammoth for the Bruins, that playoff run.
Penguins control this draw, but they give the puck away. Here comes Filppula, who also won a Stanley Cup as a member of the Detroit Red Wings in 2008 when they defeated the Penguins. Here's Pettersson, 9 minutes in, first period, no score. Matt Cullen moves the puck in deep. Darren Wilson over for the Penguins. Now it is Pelech. Up the left side to Filppula, and then Komarov. Lavillier into the Penguin zone. Shot from the right circle by Pulock was blocked. Back the other way come the Penguins, as both teams now make line changes. Devon Taves back into the Penguin zone. Matt Martin in deep for Cizikas. Met by Schultz. Malkin chasing after the loose puck. Beat to it by Clutterbuck. Now Martin and Johnson. Cizikas had it for the Islanders. Moves in behind the net. Shouldered by McCann. Cizikas out to Taves at the left point. And then across to Mayfield. His shot did not make it through. Kept alive by Martin. Martin swings it around to a waiting Taves as we hit the midway point of period one. Good shift for the Islanders. Puck possession in the Penguin zone. But then Mayfield falls down. Martin feeds Cizikas at the point. Now it is Taves with a shot. Misses to the short side.
What a pass by Cizikas. Look out.
Here comes Hornquist. Bailey is back. He's a forward. Hornquist. Tough angle shot. Easy save made by Leonard. Entertaining action at both ends here in period one. Scoreless, game three.
Up with Sidney Crosby, you like what you see so far?
Yeah, I think they've had some good shifts. You know, they've had some extended offensive zone time. Those guys are real good give-and-go players.
How hard is it to coach in a chest matchup kind of like this game is becoming?
Well, it's just the nature of the playoffs. You know, that's what 7-game series are about. All good teams are left. It's competitive hockey.
Thanks a lot, Mike.
Okay, Pierre.
Mike Sullivan said after the Game 2 defeat, it's the first to win 4, not 2, but we need the puck more.
And that's the big thing, especially with the Crosby line. They need to have the puck on their stick, and after game one, Crosby said, you can't score from 200 feet away. We need offensive zone time. They've done a great job in this game so far.
Kenny brought up a good point, winning faceoff. Crosby just went back-to-back. Look out.
Puck loose in front, our first penalty. Penguins to the power play.
And Kenny nailed it. The point is you got to start winning more faceoffs. Sidney Crosby wins this off a TV timeout. The puck's going to come back, so now you can engage your offense. They engage the offense really smartly, go for the back door. Eventually leads to the penalty in front. Adam Pelech, I believe. Did a good job by Letang, and there's the penalty right there on Dominic Simone.
Strength there by Adam Pelech. That Pelech and Pulock have been such a good shutdown pair, and Kenny, you talked too. We talked to Barry Trotz this morning about why they're so good. He said they're just rangy, they're big, and they're very smart.
Pelech in the box. Penguins, 1 power play goal in the series in 5 attempts. Crosby works it out to Letang. Letang for the far circle. Kessel down low. Hornquist blocked off by Mayfield. Puck comes up the boards. Kessel kept it away from Cizikas. Now it is Crosby for Kessel. Down low to Crosby. Malkin along the right wing boards. Out to Letang, a shot blocked by Cizikas.
Just rolled off for Kessel's stick. He was ready to tee it up.
Now Letang for Crosby. Clutterbuck with the intercept. Into the Pittsburgh zone. Coming in 1-on-3. Killing some time during this Islanders penalty kill. No score, first period, game 3 in Pittsburgh. Penguins with the game's first man advantage. Errant pass by Letang, allowing Filppula to clear.
Too steady, too stagnant, AJ. They got to be much quicker coming through the neutral zone.
They're trying to thread the needle on these passes. They're much better when they just, or their crisp transition game, get it in and set up.
Under a minute remaining on the Pelech penalty. Schultz for Gensel. Gensel down the right side, defended by Leddy. Gensel leaves it in the corner for Nick Bukestad. Out to the left point, Chris Letang, and then Justin Schultz. Schultz to the right circle, in front, the redirect by Simone, missed the net. Now Simone over to play the puck, finds Gensel in behind. Now Schultz, half minute remaining on the Penguins' advantage. Puck is cleared by Komarov as both teams make changes.
The Islanders are keeping their stick in good position and intercepting a lot of the passes that the Penguins are attempting.
Such a well-coached team, the New York Islanders. So disciplined.
They allowed 100 fewer goals than last season. They won the Jennings Trophy, best team goals against average in the entire league.
It's little things like what AJ just talked about, body position, stick position, being aware in your own zone, picking up the right people. Just simple fundamentals. Penalty is over. No shots got through to Leonard on that Penguins power play. 7:11 remaining in period one. Now Pedersen with a shot, score! On the deflection in front. 1-0 Penguins. Anytime you get offense from your fourth line, it's good stuff. Battle on the boards, chip away. Dominic Simone keeps the play alive, but Marcus Pedersen moves. It opens up a shooting avenue, and there you see Garrett Wilson with the quick stick, number 10, the number that the great Ronnie Francis used to wear in Pittsburgh. He just scores the icebreaker here in Pittsburgh, 1-0 in game number 3.
Well, it's that net front presence we talked about. They started to build on it in game 2, and they're putting pucks into those dangerous areas, hoping that chaos will ensue, and chaos ensued here. They built a little bit of momentum with their power play. They had a couple chances, and then take advantage with that next line out, pucks to the net, and some gritty play.
First career postseason goal for Garrett Wilson to give the Penguins the lead. Now Eberle with an opportunity to save by Murray.
Important goal, too, for this crowd. Get them on their feet, get them loud, and build some momentum for the team.
This is the key. The crowd's alive, as AJ said, because of this simple little play. Schultz to Pedersen, don't stand still, move, and that little movement to his left opens up the lane so Pelech can't block the shot, and Garrett Wilson gets to the front of the net with the quick stick.
Pelech came out of the box, so the Islanders had 3 defensemen on the ice, a little bit of running around there.
Excellent point. Goal coming 19 seconds after the penalty had expired. First goal by a Penguins forward since the second period of game 1. Now Pelech with the puck, near side. Eberle a shot, he scores! Jordan Eberle ties the game with his 3rd goal of the series.
What a pass by Ryan Pulock. Spectacular pass. AJ talked about Jordan Eberle being alive and dancing on the ice. Look at that pass, threads the needle. And you talk about a seeing eye shot by Eberle. The pass, the catch, the release, and it's just far down. That is spectacular hockey by the Islanders.
Well, as the puck was down low in the zone, all 5 Penguins got stuck low, opening up the point, giving Ryan Pulock time to get that pass, get his eyes up, and find Jordan Eberle, who certainly has found his finishing touch in these playoffs.
You know, a lot of people are going to say Matt Murray's got to have that because it's from a bad angle. That is a spectacular shot by a pure goal scorer.
Eberle has scored in each of the first 3 games. He was the number 2 star in game 1, the first star in game 2. Eberle answers just 28 seconds after the Pittsburgh goal, and now the Penguins go offside. Our Coors Light refreshing finish. Jordan Eberle, as AJ touched on in our open, with Edmonton back in 2017. No goals in 13 playoff games. 3-3 as an Islander.
I'll tell you what, everybody's like, well, what's wrong with Jordan Eberle? Jordan Eberle, his whole career, going back to when he was a midget player in Saskatchewan, Regina Pats, wherever he played, he was a spectacular goal scorer.
Shot by Malkin is handled by Leonard.
And you know, you look at Jordan Eberle, he fell off a little offensively this year. He had 19 goals, didn't quite make it to 20 goals in the regular season, and there were some complaints about that, but it really was the whole Barry Trotz system. All of them took a little bit of hit offensively to focus on that defensive zone that you and I have been talking about, Pierre. Each of them, their stats suffered because they were so responsible in the defensive zone. But of course, for Jordan Eberle, people know he has that touch, that finishing touch. He gets out there and talk about raising your game when the stakes are high.
He's always been that guy. It's been amazing. I can tell you, you watch any of the international tapes from Team Canada World Juniors, Jordan Eberle's in all the highlight reels. Phenomenal ability to elevate at key times.
Crosby, defended by Nelson, moves the puck out to Johnson. Penguins never led in game one. They tied the game 3 times. They had a lead for only 2 minutes, 49 seconds in game 2. And now a 2-on-1 for the Islanders. Nelson shoots, he scores! 2-1 New York.
Terrible pinch by Justin Schultz. Can't do this. You're in a 1-1 game. Everything's going the right way. You have no forward support. You can't pinch up. You can't. There's no forward there. You cannot pinch up. You're hanging Jack Johnson out to dry, and what a shot. Coming in down the wing by Brock Nelson, the man out of Ward Road, Minnesota. He just hammers that right by Matt Murray. 2-1 Islanders.
Well, this is the offense. The forecheck has been going for the Penguins so far tonight. Little turnover there by Sidney Crosby, uncharacteristic. And Jack Johnson here takes the pass away from Bailey. Bailey's had some big goals the last 2 games. Gives his goaltender the shot. But what a good one Brock Nelson comes up with.
His 5th career playoff goal, 2nd of the series. So after the Penguins led for only 28 seconds, the Islanders come back with 2 goals in just over a minute. 62 seconds between the 2 Islander goals. They lead 2-1, and now it's 3-on-2. Here's Barzal around Dumoulin, looking to get it through to Lee, but Aston Reese got a piece of it. Kessel back the other way. Knocked off the puck by Leddy. Boychuk and Aston Reese, Kessel and Barzal. 5 minutes remaining in the first period. 2-1 Islanders. Here's Barzal flipping the puck in to the right of Matt Murray, who has allowed 2 goals on 9 Islander shots.
Barry Trotz has talked about the way his team responds to every situation, going up a goal, going down a goal. He has to be pleased with the way the team has come out tonight.
No question.
Puck played behind the Islander net. Wilson had it taken away, and Leonard covers. After Wilson scored on a deflection for the Penguins, the Islanders came right back. Eberle 28 seconds later, and then Brock Nelson.
After the first period, Islanders lead the Penguins 2-1, and those 2 players were reunited at March 23rd. Matt Barzal, Jordan Eberle, and they have created a lot of offense for head coach Barry Trotz.
Islanders lead this game 2-1. Shot by Goodbranson is blocked, deflects out of play as McCann and Mayfield get together.
Well, you know, we talked to Barry Trotz, but he said he started them together, these 2 in training camp. He said it was not good. Separated them, put them back together at the end of the season, and he said it's like a marriage. He said sometimes maybe it goes a little stale. You've got to go on vacation, come back, reignite the spark, and they have certainly found a spark.
And they have sparked the Islanders in this series. Wilson opened the scoring from Pettersson and Schultz. Then it was Eberle from Pulock and Barzal. Nelson finishing off the 2-on-1. Kuhnhackl the assist. Shots are 9-6 in favor of the Islanders. Cizikas works the puck around to a waiting Mayfield. Cut off behind the net by Pettersson, and then taken away by Cizikas. Out to the left point for Taves. Wrist shot gets blocked. Hornquist got a piece of it. Now Mayfield shoots. Missed the net to the left of Murray. Chipped by Hornquist. Comes to Martin. Glove saved by Murray.
Little things matter. Matchups matter. Paying attention to detail. Brock Nelson against Sidney Crosby. Watch him stay with Crosby. Stay inside out. Stick on the ice. Stay low. Stick on the ice. Just as AJ was talking about. Here he is. Stick on the ice. Force a turnover. Little pinch. Here comes Brock Nelson. You see how hard he played on Crosby? You get rewarded. Good defense leads to better offense, and that's what Brock Nelson's providing for the Islanders. That was a perfect example of what AJ was talking about with stick position. That's fundamental training that Brock Nelson's been doing all year long with the Islanders.
So much of defending world-class players like Sidney Crosby is taking away that time and space.
Nelson on the ice here with his line mates Bailey and Kuhnhackl. Puck sent down into the Islander zone. Turned back out by Pelech. Here's Nelson. Defended by Cullen. 3.5 remaining in the first period. Kenny Albert, AJ Malesko, Pierre Maguire inside the glass. Game 3, Islanders won the first 2 on home ice. Here's Wilson, who has the Pittsburgh goal. Now Jack Johnson controls for the Penguins. Both teams make changes. Justin Schultz across to Johnson. Simone and Leddy battle for the puck. Eberle flips it ahead. Here comes Barzal. Looks to put a move on Dumoulin, who takes Barzal to the boards. Puck was left behind the net by Letang. Next man on it is Barzal. Off an intercept. Here comes Crosby. Crisscrossing with Simone. Simone met by Pelech. Here's Simone once again. Out for Dumoulin. Dumoulin shot blocked by Lee. Eberle finds the loose puck, and he will skate it out.
Nice job by Anders Lee getting in the lane there.
Here's Pulock for the Islanders. Islanders keep it in the zone. Phil Pulock had it knocked away. Islanders must regroup as we approach 2 minutes on the clock here in period 1. Phil Pulock for Leddy. Across the crease, just wide. Villiers on the puck for the Islanders. Phil Pulock blocked off by Aston Reese. Now Kessel tripped up by Phil Pulock. Islanders move it back down. Now Aston Reese once again. Pettersson flips the puck out into the neutral ice area. Worked into the Islander end by Bukestad, and back to pick it up is Taves.
Penguins don't have nearly the same pace, AJ and Kenny.
Strong forecheck right now by the Islanders.
Here comes Malkin, Mayfield back. Malkin surrounded by 4 Islanders. Now Hornquist backhands the puck around to McCann. McCann out to Johnson, and then Schultz into the slot. Hornquist had a shot blocked by Mayfield. Martin and Johnson come together. Here's Schultz. Schultz with a shot. That missed the net to the right. Final minute, first period. Hornquist in behind the net looking for Malkin. Malkin kept it away from Mayfield. Hornquist shoots. Saved by Leonard. He covers.
Good defense at both ends of the ice. We've talked a lot about the defense for the Islanders, and you can see them keeping it outside, but what a good quick shot. Robin Leonard, no second chance opportunity. McCann's waiting for that rebound. And here's some really good defense against Malkin. Look at the numbers back. All 4 Islanders surround him. And on the other end, you got Dumoulin taking Matt Barzal. Has the skill to make defensemen look silly with the way that he moves laterally, shifts around, and Dumoulin will have none of that.
Nelson wins the draw from Crosby. Kuhnhackl with 45 seconds. Bailey sends deep into the Penguin zone. Around it comes from Dumoulin to Simone. Now Crosby. Islanders control with 30 seconds. Here comes Crosby with Gensel. Gensel with a shot. Save made by Leonard. Rebound kept away from the Penguins, and the Islanders have a 3-on-2. Here's Pelech, 15 seconds. Pelech comes around, blocked off by Letang. Gensel with it, 10 seconds, 3-on-1 for Pittsburgh. Gensel across for Simone, could not get the shot away. Branson has his attempt blocked by Pelech as the first period comes to an end.
Chaos at the end of this first period. Jake Gensel tries to put the puck around Leddy, just runs Simone out of racetrack. And how about Gensler right here, playing the role of shooter, puts it on goal, and they just can't get it to that. Simone just fans.
2-1 lead for the Islanders. Lexus intermission report coming up. Islanders poised under pressure. Overtime heroics help the Avs and the Preds. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs. Penguins struck first. Wilson on the deflection. But the Islanders with 2 goals in 62 seconds. First Everly, then Nelson.
It's amazing at your Lexus dealer.
Pens held the lead for all of 28 seconds before the Islanders tied things up. Then 62 seconds after that, New York grabbed the lead. Brock Nelson buries it. Isles up 2-0. They lead Game 3 2-1 as we welcome you to the Lexus Intermission Report. Liam McHugh, Keith Jones, and Patrick Sharp. Seems like the story of the series is all about momentum. The Islanders get it, they keep it, the Pens get it, and it is gone. Why is this?
Oh, that's a good question. The Penguins did everything they needed to do today, came out, established momentum in the offensive zone, scored first, and before you know it, it's in the back of the net. You go back to Game 2, exact same story. Halfway through the game, Penguins finally get on the board on a big shot from Eric Branson. The all-important first goal in the playoff series. Take a look at the clock. 3 minutes later, it's the big line for the New York Islanders. Matt Barzal driving the net, and it's Beauvillier tying the score. Momentum shifts back to the New York Islanders today. I thought those first 12, 13 minutes of the game, Pittsburgh did everything they needed to do, get a big goal from the fourth line, and then it's here we go again, Jonesy.
Yep, just 28 seconds later, the Islanders come right back down. It's against the Crosby line. It's Eberle, who's been fabulous through the first 3 games, picks up the goal there. We got a 1-1 game. 62 seconds later, Brock Nelson on his way buries a perfectly placed shot. Kuhnhackl, the former Penguin, makes the play in the neutral zone. The goal by Nelson's a dandy, and watch the celebration here. You just love it. Look at Barzal, Eberle high-fiving, Lane Lambert having a good old time. Great stuff from the Islanders.
Can't blame the atmosphere anymore. That can't be a reason. So you look at perhaps the coaches. You saw Barry Trotz there. He gives a guy like Tom Kuhnhackl nearly 18 minutes in Game 1. Sullivan, adjustments for him?
I would take Simone off the top line with Crosby. They were -2 out there. I'd put Jared McCann up there. Did a very good job during the regular season. It's time to make some changes.
And for the Penguins, that can be ultra deflating. Playing the way you want to establish the offense's own pressure, give up a couple goals. Quick strike offense from the Islanders. They got to find a way to regroup and get back in this game.
Islanders looking to go up 3-0. They lead this one 2-1. You know, we keep saying there's nothing like playoff hockey, but let's face it, nothing compares to the intensity and drama of playoff overtime hockey. Last night, we got a triple shot of it. We'll look back at a wild Saturday right after this.
Into overtime.
Hamilton walking, scores! And a power play goal to tie it. One more save! Sends us to overtime. The pass comes out, they score! Caps lead 2-0.
Played it off in front, Giovanni scores!
I mean, I really liked our game from start to finish.
Shot from the point, Ekholm knocked out, Smith scores! Game winner!
Got loose and score! JT Compher ties the game with 2:39 to go!
Tonight we were hungry, we wanted that win, and then the guys went out and earned it.
Branson feeds ahead. In comes McKinnon, shoots, scores! Nathan McKinnon, the overtime winner, and the series is tied at 1.
It was a great one late last night. You were there. You were here watching it. Top seed Calgary dominated the opener. The Avs bounced back. Who led the way?
It was their familiar faces in the Avalanche lineup. Mikko Rantanen and Nathan McKinnon were all over the ice in this one. Nathan McKinnon playing 26 minutes of ice time as a forward, and those are heavy minutes. Look at the speed that he has coming through the neutral zone, hitting that blue line with speed every single time he's on the ice. To log that kind of ice time, Jonesy, takes a toll on your body. Check out the discipline, not getting engaged at all in those scrums. Here he is cutting to the middle and using that quick release. Mike Smith had a strong game, but he's not able to stop the big boys here. Take a look at this pass from Rantanen to a flying McKinnon, and when you're skating that fast and have a shot as accurate as that one, that's going to beat any goaltender in the National Hockey League. These two guys were front and center in a big win for the Colorado Avalanche.
Double trouble for the Flames. McKinnon now gets on the board. It's a huge goal in overtime. It's a 1-1 series. That series just getting going now. now.
That series is tied. So is the series between Dallas and Nashville. But we go from the stars to the depth guys.
Yeah, Rocco Grimaldi hadn't played in a couple of weeks. The Nashville Predators loaded with a bunch of different players at the trade deadline coming in. Grimaldi kind of took a back seat, but he's back in the lineup and provided a huge spark for the Nashville Predators. Replaced Brian Boyle, who's 6'6", a foot shorter, but a big-time heart from Grimaldi, and he was a major reason why the Nashville Predators evened the series up. Picked up the goal there and was out there in overtime as well.
And this is why Nashville is such a tough team to match up against. You see Austin Watson making a play behind the net. The depth throughout their lineup, it seems like they just come at you one line after another. A tough team to handle. Grimaldi was front and center of a big game for the Preds.
All right, both those series locked up. Now we're getting set for the second period in Pittsburgh. It's the first of 4 games today, 7 Eastern. Tampa Bay and Columbus, top seed, looking to win their first game of the series. Then it's action in St. Louis and in Vegas.
You've been watching the Lexus Intermission Report. Experience amazing at your Lexus dealer. Transmission or other unauthorized use of this broadcast without the expressed written permission of the National Hockey League is expressly prohibited.
After the Penguins took the lead, Jordan Eberle answered 28 seconds after the Garrett Wilson goal. He leads the NHL with 5 playoff points. A minute, 2 seconds later, it was Brock Nelson to give the Islanders a 2-1 lead here in Pittsburgh. The Stanley Cup playoffs on NBC are brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. By Navy Federal Credit Union, our members are the mission. By Honda, great deals are waiting at your Honda dealer. And by Jägermeister, the official shot of the NHL. The first 7 periods of this series, plus a short overtime, Islanders have led for over 45 minutes. Penguins only 3:17. They have been tied for just under 96. Second period underway. Islanders lead the series 2-0, the game 2-1. Pettersson moves the puck ahead, deflected along by Hornquist. In behind the Islander goal. Kazikis bottled up by Malkin. Now it is Martin finding Clutterbuck. Chips it in to the right of Matt Murray. To Branson for Pettersson. And now Malkin carries out. Leddy and Boychuk back. McCann drops it off for Malkin. Then the return picked off by Nick Leddy. Jordan Eberle and Brock Nelson with the goals for the Islanders in the first period after Garrett Wilson opened the scoring for the Penguins. Here's Sidney Crosby, who was -2 in period 1, off the skate of Gensel, chased down by Adam Pelech. Off the intercept, backhand shot by the tag, misses the net. Gensel works it over to Simone. Getting a stick on that one was Josh Bailey, deflecting the puck down into the Pittsburgh end.
We're going to be saying that a lot, I think, the rest of the game. The Islanders so good with their sticks. Here's another one by Brock Nelson.
Nelson waiting for the Islanders to get back on side. Here is Lee with a shot. It pinballs off Kuhnhackl behind the Pittsburgh goal. Back out to the left point it comes, and Pelech could not hold in. Just off the bench, Barzell to the Islanders captain Anders Lee, tied up by Chris Letang. Letang knocks Lee to the boards. Crosby finds a loose puck. Ahead for Simone, and now Gensel. Gensel waiting for teammates. Penguins in the midst of a change. Now Simone keeps it alive for Aston Reese. Out to the point, but Johnson was cutting the other way. 2 minutes gone, second period. New York Islanders with a 2-1 lead. Murray up the boards, knocked down by Eberle. Phil Kessel moves the puck across to Justin Schultz. And then it's cleared out by Zach Aston Reese. Brought back in by Barzell. Barzell across, missing the net. Pavillier with a glorious chance.
Remember that. If that one comes back to haunt the Islanders, that's a wide open net. My goodness gracious.
Leddy up the middle, broken up by Schultz, and then Filppula, next man on the puck. Islanders offside.
The Islanders have done a nice job, AJ and Kenny, taking the crowd out of it here in Pittsburgh to start the second period. It's really quiet, so let's look back earlier before those sequences. A turnover in the neutral zone, and then the quick counter by the New York Islanders coming in. Eventually going to get a puck down low, and it just almost caroms in. And then get Barzal pass the puck over to Beauvillier. The net's wide open. And it's just high and wide.
Well, and Barzal does a good job. He actually draws both Penguins to him. He's so dynamic, they have to keep an eye on him. And wait, his timing was perfect in his pass across to Beauvillier.
Matt Barzal, Calder Trophy winner a season ago as the NHL Rookie of the Year. Represented the Islanders in the All-Star game in San Jose back in January. And he was paired with Sidney Crosby and Chris Letang for the most part during the 3-on-3 competition. Puck carried out by Brian Rush. Now 42-year-old Matt Cullen, 3-time Stanley Cup winner. Letty with the puck for the Islanders. Now Cizikas, then Clutterbuck. Swatted in by Boychuk. Back to pick it up is Goodbranson. Patterson up the middle, deflected by Malkin to Hornquist. Pollock with it for the Islanders.
AJ, I got to tell you, the Pittsburgh Penguins can't get any forecheck going because of the Islanders moving the puck.
2-on-1. Bailey with Nelson off the stick of Brock Nelson.
Another odd man rush missed there by the Islanders, but they're creating a lot because their forecheck is on and they're able to get out of the zone quickly, as you mentioned, Pierre. The first half of the first period, I thought the Penguins' forecheck was fantastic, and they've fallen off a little since then.
Absolutely.
Puck gathered in by Dumoulin. 4 minutes gone in period 2. Kenny Albert, Adrian Malesko, Pierre Maguire inside the glass. Bouncer is handled by Leonard. Face-off in the Islanders zone. The battle for the cup is on. Get all the latest scores, news, and updates from the Stanley Cup playoffs. Extended coverage every game night with NHL Tonight on NHL Network. This is day 5. Home teams have won 8 games. Visiting teams have won 8.
That's John Gruden, and he's not just standing there as a coat hanger. He's actually changing the defense for the New York Islanders. Not an easy thing to do when you're playing in a matchup situation. I think he's really manipulated the Islander defense really well in this entire series to date.
He's also gotten them to focus. It's not just the defense, it's a 5-man unit in the defensive zone, and that's been critical to their success this season.
Here is Barzal with a shot, turned aside by Murray. Gensel down the left side for the Penguins. Chipped ahead by Taves for Lee, and then Barzal. Everly chasing with Johnson. Barzal battling with Schultz. Crosby comes over. Barzal with the puck. Johnson tied up by Lee. Good work down low by the Islanders. Puck deflected away from Komarov. That shot missed the net off the stick of Barzal. Now the Penguins move it down into the Islanders zone. Just over 5 minutes gone in period 2.
Line changes happening here for the Penguins. Phil Kessel playing with Aston Reese and Bukestad. They're trying to make some changes, but not happening. They're not getting a lot of enthusiasm.
We've talked about this Islanders defensive system. When Barry Trotz was hired 2 weeks after winning a Stanley Cup with Washington last June, he said, I knew the Islanders could score. I didn't think their strength was goaltending or defense. Boy, has that changed under Trotz and his staff.
And his whole staff, they've done such a fantastic job. And he's become known for that defensive zone, defensive structure, but he has really put it to the test with these Islanders.
They became the first team in 100 years to go from last to first in goals against average.
I mean, the way that he has coached them, the way that he's given them confidence, it's the layers. That's what is so interesting, to see how they play. He gives them each confidence that everybody else is going to do their job, and they've all bought in. And that has been the biggest thing in their success, is everybody trusts him.
You know what else matters? They got guys that have won the cup here before. As coaches, as management people, they got a lot of underrated experience when it comes to winning.
They sure do. And don't forget, they lost their best player, their captain, John Tavares, spent 9 years on the island. Barry Trotz called every player on the phone after he took over, right around the time when Tavares signed with Toronto. And he said so many of them told him We are a lot better than just one player.
It goes to show the mentality of this team.
Now Malkin with the puck for the Penguins. Out to the left point, Dumoulin. Right side, Letang. Malkin keeps the puck alive. Hornquist with it. Now Malkin. For Dumoulin.
Sorry, Kenny.
Stick save made by Leonard.
McCann playing with Hornquist and Malkin.
As Mike Sullivan continues to shuffle his forward lines. Here is McCann. Moves the puck around behind. And now Clutterbuck is over for the Islanders. Can't get it out. Hornquist. Around to the near side. Puck picked up by Matt Martin. Crosby now on the ice with Gensel and Simone. That line has remained intact. An opportunity in front. Puck is loose. And it's kept away from Tom Kuhnhackl, who had the first opportunity. Here's Simone stick handling. Behind the net for Crosby. Still without a point in the series. Good job by Taves to stay with him. Bailey will clear the puck across. Kuhnhackl moves it the rest of the way.
Second chance right in this game for Jake Gensel, right in front where a puck just bounces over his stick. Longer he goes without a goal. 40 goals this season, but only human to start gripping your stick a little bit tightly and think about things a little too much.
Here comes Gensel. 3 Islanders back. Broken up. Knocked out of the air by Bailey. Quick transition. Everly crisscrossing with Barzell. Everly looks to put a move on Johnson, who stayed with him. Everly now finds Lee. Lee sends one towards the net. Blocker down by Murray. Puck played by Pettersson with just under 12 minutes remaining in period 2. Islanders with a 2-1 lead. Penguins have iced the puck.
You know, Maui Jim RoboCamera sunglasses. Let's try that again. The Maui Jim RoboCam right there, opportunity. And you got to add the sunglasses in, AJ.
Are you wearing yours, Pierre?
No, I should be.
What an opportunity for Tom Kuhnhackl. He looked a little surprised by this puck right here. He's all alone. He tries to get a touch. Fantastic save by Matt Murray, getting that pad down, not allowing it to slip through. But Kuhnhackl has been one of those big game players. He rises to the occasion, having won 2 cups here in Pittsburgh.
No sunglasses needed inside the glass, Pierre.
Sometimes you do.
A delayed penalty coming up. It is a hook. Penguins to the power play. Eastern Conference playoff bracket. Winner of this series will face the winner of Washington and Carolina. Columbus with a 2-0 lead on the top team from the regular season. Tampa Bay Lightning, Boston and Toronto tied at 1. Pierre, you were in Washington with Brendan Burke yesterday. And you guys will have the call for Game 3 tomorrow.
Looking forward to that down in Raleigh. Playoff hockey, first time in a long time down in Raleigh, North Carolina. How about Brooks Orpik, the former Penguin, with the OT winner?
Power play for Pittsburgh. Their second of the game with Filppula in the box for hooking Aston Reese.
Well, Filppula is one of their best penalty killers for the Islanders. Great in the face-off circle and spends a lot of time when they're shorthanded.
Here's Letang, defended by Cizikas. Penguins trail by a goal. Malkin for Kessel. Crosby setting up in front of the net. Back out it comes, and a shot by Malkin deflected. Crosby is there. Puck winds up behind the goal, and the Islanders clear.
Appreciate Robin Leonard there. His ability to not get rattled with so many people around him. He's got to be the best penalty killer, coming up with a big save there.
Johnny Boychuk on the puck for the Islanders. Up the glass and out, helped down ice by Komarov. Midway through this Pittsburgh power play, they are 1 for 6 in the series. Kessel to Malkin. 4 Islanders back. Getting a stick on that puck was Brock Nelson.
How many times have you said that in the game? Stick on puck.
Now Crosby for Malkin. Ben Kessel has room, moves it and shoots. Crosby to the puck behind the net. Now it is Boychuk up the boards. Malkin waiting at the left point, pushing one, which is blocked by the shoulder of Boychuk. 25 seconds remaining on the power play for the Penguins as Nelson clears it the length of the ice. Fresh bodies on both sides. Midway through period 2. All 3 goals coming in the first period. Shots are 14-12 Islanders. Penalty time winding down. This is Bukestad. Now Jared McCann. Penalty is over. Islanders kill it off. Penguins 0 for 2. Puck forced out by Filppula. Now Cizikas into the Penguins' end. Pellet pulls the puck around. Pettersson waiting. He's hit hard by Cizikas. Schultz on the puck for the Penguins. Now Jordan Eberle, leading scorer in the Stanley Cup playoffs with 5 points. Matt Barzal for the Islanders. Barzal leaves it for Leddy. Out to Taves. His shot deflected by Barzal. Now Barzal stick handling. Out for Leddy. Leddy with a shot, did not make it through. Eberle with an opportunity. Kept alive by Leddy. Not allowing the Penguins to clear. Penalty coming up. This one is against Pittsburgh. Islanders to their first power play with a 2-1 lead.
Then not so much. What have you done to dampen the forecheck?
I don't know if we've done anything. They were playing really quick. They're a good team, and they were really, I think they were focused in on just getting pucks in and getting their forecheck established. And you know you're going to have those waves. So I thought we were able to just stretch them out a little bit and get our forecheck going and even out.
What do you appreciate the most about this group?
They play for each other. They play team first. Everything's about team first, and they regard each other's six.
Excellent, Coach.
All right.
A power play for the Islanders. Brian Rust in the box for holding. Islanders 2 for 8 in the series. They have scored a power play goal in each of the first 2 games. After they finished the regular season, 3 for their last 50.
They really struggled. It was a big concern coming into the postseason. Having 2 power play goals is a good way to start the playoffs for them.
This is Eberle. Eberle misses the net with that shot.
Not by much. That top part was wide open. I'm right on that line.
Eberle with the puck once again. Here comes Aston Reese with the Penguins shorthanded.
Aston Reese he tried to get it in. It was a good play, knocking it out of the air, but that has to get deep, get a good change.
First power play of the game for the Islanders. Nelson dropping it off to Eberle. And then across to Taves. Has room, shoots, save made by Murray. Rebound attempt by Lee. Now Eberle with the puck. Josh Bailey. Bailey's shot deflects wide. Sent around by Jack Johnson. Kept in the zone by Devon Taves for Brock Nelson. Cross ice for Eberle. Then in front, bouncing puck, saved by Murray. Puck is loose. Another penalty coming up. This one is for holding the stick.
The Islanders have had a precise power play working here in game number 3. You see them going through the penalty killing box. Beautiful passing. And there you see Jack Johnson holding onto the stick right there of Anders Lee. Easy call for the official to make, AJ.
Well, and you know, on their power play here for the Islanders, Anders Lee and Brock Nelson do a really good job exchanging that net front presence. Both of them, Brock Nelson has a little bit of a better shot, but Anders Lee is so big and strong that in order to stop him, sometimes all you can do is take a penalty. Huge opportunity now, just under a minute of 5-on-3 time. They were not able to capitalize on their 5-on-3 in game 2, which I think can sometimes be a backbreaker emotionally. If you get that much time with a 2-man advantage, and the Islanders came up with a win in that game, but that was a big momentum swing in favor of the Penguins in game 2.
Now the follically impaired man right there with the dry erase board, that's Scott Gomez, another Stanley Cup winner with the New Jersey Devils going over the power play. And when he played, he was a very good power play player.
Sure was.
Follically impaired. Takes one to know one, Pierre.
That's correct. That's why I can say that with confidence. Now, we talk about the underrated part of this Islander offense or team. Look at the roster of all the guys that have been part of Stanley Cup winning teams. You see the players and you see the management people. And at the bottom, Mitch Korn. He is the goalie whisperer around the National Hockey League. What a job he's done with Robin Leonard.
Well, and Thomas Greiss, both of them combined, they split the games. Robin Leonard got a few more starts, but the two of them have been so solid for this Islanders team all season long.
Mitch Korn along with Piero Greco, their outstanding work with the Islanders goaltenders. So a 5-on-3 for 53 seconds. The Islanders' two-man advantage lasted 54 seconds in game 2.
Face-offs become so critical here. They now have to spend time coming up the ice. They have time on this, but got to try to win those draws.
Here is Everly setting up Bailey. Back to Everly, and then Bailey in the corner. Everly, Bailey. Back out to Everly. Down low to Barzal. 20 seconds remaining on the first penalty to Brian Rust. Bailey with the puck. Now Pulock tees one up off the pipe.
Oh, man.
Here's Barzal. Barzal, cross ice Bailey. Puck is underneath Aston Reese. Across the crease it rolled. First penalty is over. It is now a 5-on-4 advantage. Pulock could not get the stick on the puck. It's forced out by Rust. And now the Islanders with 1 minute remaining on their second power play.
Really impressive 5-on-3 work there by the Penguins. They stayed really tight, really disciplined, and all three of them right in that slot area.
Now an Islander penalty. Taken down was Pettersson. Behind the net by Barzal.
This could be a swing moment in this game 3. Matthew Barzal coming in on the forecheck, watches stick right into the feet and the leg as well, into the leg of Marcus Pettersson. And then Ryan Pulock with a 5-on-3, tees it high, lets it fly off Murray's shoulder and off the pipe.
Pulock has a heavy, heavy shot. Early in the season, he was having a tough time hitting the net, and he's found his mark toward the last couple weeks of the season. Matthew Barzal's got to be a little bit more disciplined. Offensive zone penalty when you're on the power play is not something that Barry Trotz would be happy with.
When Pulock played junior, Kenny and AJ played for the Brandon Wheat Kings. This last year at junior, he had 63 points in 66 games. And of those points, 23 of them were on offensive opportunities like that, the one-timer. He's just an unbelievable shooter.
What a turn of events. An Islander 5-on-3, an Islander 5-on-4. It is now 4 skaters aside. And then barring any other penalties, the Penguins will go on the power play.
Well, and the Penguins have got their crowd behind them now. They are up and out of their feet, out of their seats, on their feet.
In 25 seconds, Johnson will return. Leddy with the puck for the Islanders, swings it around to Filppula, lets it go through to Taves at the right point. Now Beauvillier. In front, saved by Murray on Taves.
What a give and go that was with Taves and Beauvillier.
Here comes Bukestad with McCann. McCann with a shot off the glove of Leonard on top of the net. Puck finally comes down to Bukestad. Johnson out of the box. Penguins with the man advantage for the next minute, 10 seconds. Gensel leaving it for Letang. Now to Crosby, then Malkin. They play catch. Malkin in front, off the stick of Gensel. Now Letang straight away. Malkin fires, that's blocked by Leddy. Battle for the puck. And the Islanders clear.
Leddy is hobbled by that block shot.
Is he ever?
And then a good job by Beauvillier to beat Malkin to the puck and sent it back behind the Pittsburgh goal. Here's Kessel for Malkin. Half minute remaining on the Penguins power play. Sidney Crosby. Out to Chris Letang. Letang shoots. Glove save made by Robin Leonard. He will hold on to it. 4:45 remaining in the second period. 21 seconds on the power play.
Well, the Penguins are pushing back now, taking advantage of opportunities. You gain the line, you move the puck to the outside. Quick shot on goal. Robin Leonard's left shoulder fights that off, and look how close it was to carry him in off of Bukestad. Off the shoulder, up over the crossbar, comes back, and it was that close for the Penguins.
It was, and here's a great give and go between Beauvillier and Devon Taves, who jumps in the play, does that a lot. Really offensive-minded defenseman, and that was in the 4-on-4.
Puck kept in beautifully by Letang. Now it is Kessel. 10 seconds remaining on the Islander penalty. Schultz for Kessel. Malkin misses the net high and wide. Barzell returns. Islanders kill it off. 4:20 remaining in period 2. Here's Letang, nice move, shoots, bounces off Kessel. An opportunity for Crosby. Crosby with the puck. Backhand shot gets blocked, and Barzell will clear the zone.
If you don't elevate the puck on Robin Leonard, you're not going to score. Both those chances were along the ice.
And Robin Leonard got a lot of help from his defensemen and the forwards there too, blocking shots, creating some chaos.
Here comes Crosby back in. Leaned on by Nelson. Out to Goodbranson, and then Pettersson. Pettersson around Kuhnhackl. Kuhnhackl takes it to the corner boards. Wilson in to work the puck free. He has the Penguins goal. Now Cullen, pressed by Kuhnhackl. 3.5 remaining in the period. Islanders maintaining a 2-1 lead. All the goals coming in the first. Leddy backhands the puck ahead. Helped out by Nelson, gathered in by Goodbranson. Taken away by Bailey, and then Goodbranson on the recovery.
What an afternoon it's been for Brock Nelson. He's been outstanding. Here he is handling the puck, moving it to Johnny Boychuk. Great game for Brock Nelson.
He scored the second Islander goal after Eberle became the first Islander to score in the first 3 games of the playoffs since our colleague Ray Ferraro back in 1993 against Washington. And this is Eberle with the puck. 3 Penguins back. Taken away by Bukestad. And now Bukestad starts back up ice to Aston Reese. Aston Reese with a shot. Mayfield got a piece of that one. Here's Mayfield with 2.5 on the clock in period 2. Barzell with Lee. Anders Lee for Eberle. Now Kessel with it for Pittsburgh. Jack Johnson, 2 Islanders back. Johnson knocked down by Pollock. Pollock on the puck for New York. Pollock shoots in to the left of Murray, winds around. Villiers knocks it into the corner. Johnson is on it there. Gets past Dumoulin. Comes to Pollock, a shot. That deflects in behind the Pittsburgh goal. Dumoulin shoveling it ahead for McCann. Villiers over for the Islanders. Filppula as well. 2 Islanders, 2 Penguins along the near boards. Now Bukestad comes in. And the puck is cleared out by McCann. Pollock and Hornquist in a race for it. Pollock around to his partner, Pellick. 90 seconds remaining in period 2. Komarov's shot blocked by Dumoulin. To the netting, it deflects. Opportunities for the Penguins on the power play. Unable to beat Robin Leonard. Helped out by the skate of his defenseman Pollock as well. Fifth playoff series between the Islanders and the Penguins. Islanders won the first 3, Penguins won the most recent. On an overtime goal by Brooks Orpik to win the series back in 2013. Pierre, you mentioned his overtime goal yesterday for the Washington Capitals. The oldest defenseman to score a playoff overtime goal in NHL history. Washington leads that series 2-0. Islanders lead this one 2-0. Final minute, second period. There have been 5 power plays in the game. Penguins 0 for 3, Islanders 0 for 2. Shots are 23-17 in favor of the Islanders. Penguins scored first. Islanders tied it 28 seconds later. And took the lead 62 seconds after the Eberle goal. Third of the series for Eberle, second of the series for Brock Nelson. Those 2 Islanders have scored 5 goals in this series. So have the Penguins. Pellick with the puck. Kuhnhackl chasing. 10 seconds remaining. Kuhnhackl with an opportunity. Murray, the stop.
Well, Tommy Kuhnhackl, a former Pittsburgh Penguin, drafted under the Ray Shero regime. You're going to see Brian Dumoulin loaded up. Kuhnhackl gets in the lane. He was known for that, along with Nick Bonino when the Penguins were winning cups, and he could also provide some offense. Not as well as his father could provide offense. His dad, one of the best players that ever played in Europe. Eric Kuhnhackl.
When Kuhnhackl came to the Islanders, Thomas Greiss, fellow German, said he was starstruck that Eric Kuhnhackl's son would be playing with him.
His father is a living legend in European hockey circles.
Eric Kuhnhackl named the top player of the 20th century in Germany. There's Thomas Greiss, who hopefully had the opportunity to meet one of his idols.
You know why he didn't come in the NHL? He couldn't afford the pay cut.
Played in 3 Olympics.
Different time.
And talking about Tom Kuhnhackl too, Barry Trotz has said he's a winner. You know, he's been in and out of the lineup, healthy scratch here and there, but he is one of those players. He said he's got as many rings as anybody in that room. He's got 2 of them with his old club, the Pittsburgh Penguins, but he is one of those people that elevates his game when the stakes are high. He actually had the opening goal. It was called back, but 33 seconds into game 1, he scored a goal that ultimately was deemed offside, but he also had one that was under review in overtime.
Second period comes to an end. No scoring in the middle period. Islanders lead 2-1. Coming up, the Discover Card intermission report. The Islanders leading on Leonard.
And the U.S. women are going for gold in the World Championship against Finland. Currently tied 0-0 in the first period.
After Finland upset Canada in the semis yesterday. Penguins on home ice trail the series 2-0. Trail in this game 2-1. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Discover Card, the official credit card of the NHL.
Islanders looking to grab a stranglehold on the series, and Ryan Pulock nearly gave them a 2-goal cushion in Game 3. It remains 2-1 after 2 periods. As we welcome you to the Discover Card intermission report, Liam McHugh, Keith Jones, and Patrick Sharp. So the pressure rising for Pittsburgh, the score unchanged. The big reason, Robin Lehner. Incredible story, an amazing season. But this is a guy who came into the postseason having never started a playoff game, so you wondered, could he sustain it? He's been better. So how does Pittsburgh solve this?
Well, they got to get to the net. They got to get second and third chance opportunities, because everything they've thrown at Robin Lehner's way, he's been up to the task and been a big difference in this series so far. Tonight, right from the jump, he's dialed in square to the shooter, making difficult saves look easy. He's been aggressive, available for second chance opportunities. And look at the awareness of that puck coming back into the blue paint, has the awareness to headbutt it out of the way. Here's another one. Those are dangerous plays when the puck's sitting on top of the net. And Sidney Crosby, Leonard gets a little help from the defenseman Pulock here, but his pad is in the way. The Penguins have to figure out a way. They're going to school with the video on the bench. They got to find a way to solve Robin Lehner right now.
All right, so they're doing a little studying on the bench. During the second period, we heard AJ talking about Barry Trotz coaching Tom Kuhnhackl, the trust there. He was a coach of yours.
Yes, he was.
Back in the day, and this doesn't surprise you.
Not at all. If you come to play and you demonstrate to Barry Trotz that you're ready to go, he's going to play you. You're in that lineup, you're going to have a role. Tom Kuhnhackl, a very important player for the Penguins, but spent a lot of the time during the playoffs sitting on the bench in a Penguins uniform. Not the case with the New York Islanders. First 2 games of the playoffs before today, he was out there frequently and doing all the little things right. An outstanding performance from Kuhnhackl here. Gets the puck up to his line mates. He's playing with a couple of skillful players, and for good reason. He has earned that opportunity. Watch the little chip play there to Brock Nelson. Nelson scores the goal, and Kuhnhackl making Barry Trotz look really smart in this game and pleasing his line mates. It's a great job by Tom Kuhnhackl through 2 periods in this game.
Back to the Pens and trying to solve Lehner. They have 17 shots at this point. How do they generate more offense?
Oh, they got to get to the inside. They got to find a way to get those rebounds, second chance opportunities. The shots from the outside are not going to beat Robin Lehner in this game today, and the power play is key.
And juggle up that top line. Crosby's got his A game going. He's got the legs. Give him a little help, and they'll break through in the third period.
It's a huge third period coming up for Pittsburgh, but coming up next, women's national team going for a 5th straight world championship. Going to hit up the highlights of Team USA's gold medal showdown with Finland when we return right after this. Routing Russia 8-0 in the semifinal. Team USA is taking on Finland in the gold medal game of the Women's World Championship. Pick it up. First period for Finland. They have a goaltender, Nora Ratu, easily one of the best goalies in the world, and showing you why right here. The denial there, and then it's Amanda Kessel.
Yeah, great shot from Kessel, too, and another big-time save. Finland in the finals, took down Team Canada, and you can see why. Great goaltending like that, keeping the U.S. pushing forward here.
Friend of the show, Kendall Coyne-Schofield, with the near goal there on the rebound. Ratu strong, getting a little help from her teammates. It is 0-0 right now. Finland upset Canada in the semifinal. Speaking of upsets, we got one brewing in the NHL in the first round because tonight, 7 Eastern, it's Lightning Blue Jackets. Columbus took the first 2 in Tampa Bay and now top overall seed, also without the league's leading scorer, Nikita Kucherov. He is suspended for his Game 2 hits. The Lightning, they need goals. They need people to step up. Who are you looking at?
Well, we're going to look at Steven Stamkos, no question about it. And the way that Columbus Blue Jackets is playing even strength, 5-on-5, the power play is going to be key for the Lightning getting back in the series. It's going to be difficult to do without the league's leading scorer, Nikita Kucherov. Take a look at the chemistry between Kucherov and Stamkos on that power play, that seam pass. And we've seen Stamkos use that familiar one-timer time and time again. Stamkos is going to have to step up as the leader of this Tampa Bay Lightning team without his running mate Nikita Kucherov. That's a big task against an angry Columbus Blue Jackets team.
It's almost hard to believe how this started for Columbus, considering where they are now. Remember, down 3-0 in the first period of Game 1. You need a short memory. Who has that for Columbus?
Seth Jones, and he demonstrated that in Game 1. He had a turnover that led to a goal against and then quickly responded from that point on. He's been leading the way on the back end for the Columbus Blue Jackets. There's that turnover. Here's a goal by Killorn. Looked like it was going to be all Tampa in game number 1. Not so fast. Here's Seth Jones before game number 1's over. Buries that goal, a go-ahead goal with about 5 minutes left in the third period. He's been erasing plays through the neutral zone. Tampa has been unable to get to their speed game. Great job by Seth Jones so far.
The great thing about the Stanley Cup playoffs is every year these stars emerge, and Seth Jones is a guy that deserves some attention. He's been a top defenseman in the league for a handful of seasons now. He's finally getting the credit that he deserves. He's been a key to that series.
All right, again, that's 7 Eastern over on NBCSN. The Lightning, they began the playoffs as 2-1 favorites to capture the Cup. They're looking to not fall behind, 3-0 in their series. Pittsburgh also looking to avoid that. They trail 2-1.
You've been watching the Discover Card Intermission Report, presented by Discover Card, the official credit card of the NHL.
The press guys are all watching the Masters.
Oh, it's funny.
3-time Stanley Cup champion Evgeny Malkin and his Pittsburgh Penguins trail the New York Islanders 2-1. Islanders won the first 2 games on home ice. 4-3 in overtime, 3-1 in Game 2. Third period is underway. Puck played by Hornquist. Back behind the Islander net. Malkin beat Martin to the loose puck. Now it is McCann for Pittsburgh. Out in front, but Hornquist could not connect. Hornquist then knocked down by Clutterbuck. Boychuk keeps the puck away from Malkin. And now the Penguins must regroup. Hornquist was spun around by Cizikas, allowing Clutterbuck to enter the Pittsburgh zone. Opening minute, third period. Here's Sidney Crosby, still without a point in the series. Off the stick of Gensel. And then Letang unable to keep it in the zone. What must the Penguins do here in the third, Pierre?
I think, first of all, put Evgeny Malkin with Sidney Crosby, start getting bodies to net, and start getting more pace in their game. There's not enough pace in their game.
Dumoulin finds Crosby. Broken up by Nelson, then an opportunity for Simone was blocked in front. Chris Letang, defended by Eberle, who takes the puck away, and then Bailey clears for the Islanders.
The end zone coverage of the Islanders is just devouring the Pittsburgh Penguins offense.
Of relentless evil. And though I gave you a quick death, it was not mercy. It was Ortho Ground Clear Weed and Grass Killer.
Kill 'em all! New Ortho Ground Clear. Kills really fast and it's organic friendly. Speed you can trust.
Following the icing, Islanders must leave the same 5 players on the ice. Bukestad and Nelson to face it off. Puck comes to Leonard. And now the Islanders can send fresh bodies out.
It's just hard to play against this robust, physical, smart defense and the system that the Islanders are deploying. But I think that man needs to make more of an impact on this series. I know he had a good first 2 games offensively, but they need Malkin and I think Crosby. And I'd put those 2 guys together and I'd create double trouble.
Well, they were together for the last shift or 2 of game 2, trying to generate something at that point of the game. So might be on Sullivan's mind.
Mayfield bangs the puck out of the zone. Penguins now have Aston Reese, Bukestad, and Kessel as their forward unit. Bukestad in the corner. Tied up by Mayfield. Aston Reese, Taves there as well. Kessel works it free. Islanders gain control. Skated out by Eberle. Schultz back on the puck for the Penguins. Up the boards for Bukestad. 2 minutes gone here in the third.
Great back check by Anders Lee.
Puck picked up in the neutral zone by Eberle. Now Barzell. Sidesteps Wilson. Barzell with a shot that missed the net. DeBranson on it for the Penguins. He clears. Backhanded along by Garrett Wilson, who has the only Pittsburgh goal this afternoon. Penguins have scored only 5 in the series. 3 in game 1. Letty onto the stick of Beauvillier. Beauvillier sends in deep. Topolo on the puck now for the Islanders. Out to the right point. Johnny Boychuk's shot did not get through.
He's shooting for that high tip again that AJ talked about in the first period.
Puck now played by Cullen. Kept away from Wilson. And now Topolo keeps it alive for the Islanders. Broken up by Wilson. Pokes it out with his long reach.
AJ, not enough pace for the Penguins right now. They got to find a way to get quicker.
They don't have a lot of time to make their decisions, and they look like they're getting a little frustrated with the pressure that the Islanders are putting on them.
Malkin back on the ice with McCann and Hornquist. Jared McCann with the puck. Out to the left point for Dumoulin, and then across to Letang. Letang with a shot deflected by Hornquist, and then covered by Leonard. The biggest stars, the hottest songs, and the greatest talent, all on music's #1 night. Kelly Clarkson is back to host the Billboard Music Awards May 1st on NBC.
Offensive zone face-off, you get last change. Mike Sullivan going with Gensel, Simon, and Crosby. I would take Simon off right now. Not trying to second-guess the coach, but I guess I am, and I'd say Malkin get out there with Crosby for offensive zone face-offs.
Crosby's been good. He's at 70% face-offs tonight.
Loses this one. Clutterbuck with the puck for the Islanders. Now Martin, then Cizikas. Tried the return, blocked off by Dumoulin. Crosby and Clutterbuck. Martin keeps the puck alive. Now it is Gensel. Here's Crosby into the Islanders zone. Good stick work by Clutterbuck. Bullock to the puck. Now Clutterbuck over to help out. Martin flips it down into the Penguins' end.
Good patience by Bullock there not to throw the puck away, but hold on to it against the boards.
Just over 4 minutes gone in period 3.
The crowd's trying. Now the players got to pick it up a notch. The Penguins crowd is trying everything they can to get this team in. The Islanders are just taking the spirit away from the Penguins. AJ, you played at a very high level. Watch this face-off play by the Pittsburgh Penguins, and watch how easy it is for the New York Islanders. Where is the resistance from the Penguins? That's off an offensive zone face-off play where you're down 2-1 in a game. There's got to be some extra effort somewhere.
We mentioned this is the 4th straight year for Barry Trotz against the Penguins in the postseason. First 3 with Washington. Puck deflects out of play. Back in 2016, in his first series against the Penguins, Sidney Crosby held without a point over the first 3 games. Does not have a point yet in this series.
Barry Trotz, every time he talks about him, though, he's said it to us a couple times over the last 3 games. He said he is the gold standard. He is a fantastic player. He also talks about Malkin. He said those players, they're going to find ways to get on the board. We're just going to keep doing what we do. We're going to try to put a lot of pressure on them, make sure that we smother them as much as possible in the D zone.
They just had to get Jared McCann off the ice. He got popped in the nose. He's got a towel up to his face, and that's why Brian Russ is on the ice with Malkin right now.
And Hornquist. It has been a collective team effort by the Islanders to bottle up Crosby and the Penguins. Islanders offside, 15-18 remaining in period 3.
Jared McCann got in on that forecheck before that last whistle, and he was the one, he was getting in there very, very quickly. Did not play with an upper body injury in game 2, but brings a lot of speed and enthusiasm to this lineup.
Right now they're not slowing down a little bit, but before it wasn't slowing down. That blood flow.
Bukestad, Aston Reese, Kessel up against Nelson, Kuhnhackl, and Bailey. Puck deflected in by Phil Kessel. Boychuk looking around. Up the right side, deflected along by Kuhnhackl for Nelson, who scored the go-ahead goal in period 1. Now Bailey kicks it onto a stick, shoots through the crease wide. Kuhnhackl over for the Islanders, blocked off in front by Pettersson. All 3 goals coming in the span of 1 minute 30 seconds in the first period. Here is Kessel, slides it across. Great opportunity for Pettersson.
Kessel has always been a great shooter, so dangerous with his shot, but he has good vision here as he enters the zone. Good transition through this neutral zone. Bukestad drives the net, and then Kessel finds that seam for that shot, and Leonard gives no second chance opportunity. But that's a good creative zone entry for the Pittsburgh Penguins. They need to do more of that.
And a real good job by Marcus Pettersson banging his stick on the ice to let Phil Kessel know he's wide open, and Kessel with the excellent peripheral vision. AJ's 100% right. That's what they need more of. More entries like that, more pace, more precision, but start to attack with some pace and flow.
Crosby's line back out. Letang for Gensel. Now Simone bangs it around for Crosby. Crosby out in front, saved by Leonard on Gensel. Puck is loose, Leonard covers.
They're building off the momentum they created off the entry with Kessel going to Pettersson. Strong board play. Crosby out front. Good opportunity, and Robin Leonard, big as a house. Nice pass through the crease, and Jake Gensel, the 40-goal man, just can't get it to go.
Look at Leonard, too, just the lack of extra movement in his crease. He comes across laterally. He's a big guy, so he doesn't need to move a lot, but he does an excellent job controlling himself as he comes across, facing that shot.
You just have to be impressed with the way the Islanders have played, though, Kenny and AJ. The composure. Now Leonard's trying to slow things down, a little gamesmanship. The fans don't like it, but it slows it down.
Although actually in that replay, it looked like his helmet did come off a little bit. Nothing broke, but a snap did
He's
come off.
not in a rush to put it back on, though, is he? Slow it down.
Put the fans back in their seats.
Yeah.
Face off to Leonard's right. Won by Cizikas. Pellick up the boards, deflected out by Martin for Clutterbuck. Joined by Cizikas. Clutterbuck takes a hit along the wall from Letang. Dumoulin on the puck now for the Penguins. Off the stick of Gensel. Clutterbuck went sliding into the boards. Simone carries out. He is taken down by Cizikas. And the Penguins are offside.
And the Penguins and their fans want a penalty on Casey Cizikas.
In that last zone entry for the Penguins, the Islanders were sagging back a little bit. Part of it was the way they drove the net. But watch the way that the Islanders defense, they stay up. Here's Clutterbuck, blows a tire right here. He blocks out Gensel a little bit, but you can see the way that Cizikas comes up, angles him, keeps that puck out, takes him down. There's just no room for these Penguins as they come through the neutral zone.
McCann back on the ice. They stop the blood flow.
Along with Malkin and Hornquist. Here's Taves for the Islanders. Sticked aside by Murray. Lee tied up by Schultz. Barzal now with the puck for the Islanders. Poked away by McCann. Sent ahead by Malkin. And now skated out by McCann. Across to Jack Johnson. Taves and Hornquist. Malkin comes over. Barzal as well. Evgeny Malkin with the puck. Backs it up. Shoots, blocked in front. First Mayfield got a piece of it. Then Barzal. Barzal can't clear. And then Schultz shanked one. Set ahead by Eberle for Barzal, and he works the puck down. Both teams make changes. 13.5 remaining. New York Islanders won the first 2 games on home ice. They lead game 3 in Pittsburgh 2-1. Puck deflected in by Wilson. Boychuk slaps at it. Cullen kept it alive. Now Matt Cullen with the puck. Pressed by Boychuk. Sent around to the near side for Beauvillier. Pettersson back for the Penguins. Filppula in on the forecheck. Good Branson up the right side to Wilson and then Rust. Rust flips in around Boychuk. Knocked to the ice. Boychuk flips it around to the near side. Leddy coming over along with Wilson. Rust tried to center, blocked off by Boychuk. Matt Cullen with the puck. Out to the left point. That shot did not get through off the stick of Pettersson. Islanders clear the zone with 12:25 to play. More player changes. Good Branson across to Pettersson. Deflected along by Kessel. Leonard moves it up the near side glass over the stick of Bailey. Islanders clear it out. Now Pulock back to pick it up in the defensive zone. Kessel finds the puck. Then to Aston Reese's shot turned aside by Leonard. Backhanded along by Pelech. Kept in the zone by Kessel. Now it is Pelech knocking it away from Aston Reese. Nelson with the lead pass for Kuhnhackl. Kuhnhackl with a backhand attempt. That's turned aside by Murray. Kuhnhackl continues to battle with Kessel. Now Bjugstad with 11.5 remaining.
The Islanders have done a masterful job taking the Penguins crowd out of. The Penguins crowd are trying to rally, but there's not a lot to cheer for.
Shots are 26-22 in favor of the Islanders. Clutterbuck sends the puck around to the near side. Simone and Taves come together. Now Jack Johnson and Clutterbuck. Clutterbuck in possession, out in front, shot by Cizikas, stopped by Murray.
This forecheck of this fourth line creates so many offensive opportunities.
Now it is Clutterbuck once again. Cizikas and Simone battle for the puck. Johnson comes over. Matt Martin with a shot. Now Cizikas once again. Out in front for Clutterbuck. Now it's Taves.
Smart change by Cizikas. Get off. That's a long shift. Don't have legs to play defense if they need it.
Great point.
Penguins offside. Extended zone time for the Islanders' fourth line. Still 2-1 New York. SAP. Casey Cizikas has been the workhorse against Sidney Crosby in the faceoff circle throughout this series.
As Barry Trotz told us, that his line is facing Sidney Crosby about 50% of the time. Crosby's on the ice, and everybody else was splitting it. Of course, that was when Trotz had the last change. It's a little different here today when Mike Sullivan has the last change. But Casey Cizikas and his line mates, Cal Clutterbuck and Matt Martin, have done a phenomenal job of just managing him, getting on the defensive side of him, frustrating him, and not allowing him to do Sid things.
Pittsburgh Penguins' 13th straight playoff appearance. Only the San Antonio Spurs have a longer active streak in all of sports. Saved by Leonard on McCann. Islanders missed the playoffs the last 2 years. This season, a 23-point improvement. They missed the playoffs by 17 points a season ago. Looking to take a 3-0 lead in this best-of-7 series. Backhand attempt by Barzal from a tough angle is gloved by Matt Murray.
Well, they're owning the puck, the Islanders are, and they're frustrating the Penguins. I'm down here, and the Penguins bench is very quiet, but some of the guys are starting to chirp up just a little bit because of the way the Islanders are forechecking, as AJ talked about, dominating the puck, doing a good job with faceoffs, and grinding on the better Pittsburgh Penguin players. It's a frustrating game for the Penguins to play.
But after game 2, Sidney Crosby told the press, he said, I expect more urgency in game 3. We need to come out, we need to be more disciplined, and we've got to play with a little bit more spark. And they're trying to find it, but it's been hard against the smothering D.
Face off to the right of Murray. Islanders control. Komarov with the puck. Filppula battling with Cullen. Squirts free to Komarov. Sticked aside by Murray. Now Schultz flips the puck out. Knocked down by Tage. Off the stick of Filppula. Filppula regains. Cross-ice pass. Komarov scores! 3-1 Islanders.
Well, we've talked about it all period long. The Islanders have done a really good job frustrating the Penguins. Quick counter in the neutral zone. Bouncing puck for Jack Johnson. He really can't handle it. And Komarov's going to get that bouncing puck and go short side on Matt Murray. Val Filppula is just going to throw it across his little chip in the slot. And Komarov jumps on that. Beauvillier will get an assist. And it's 3-1.
This opportunity
Islanders.
comes from a quick transition in the neutral zone, recognizing that the Islanders recognizing that they have the Penguins a little bit on the ropes here, putting pressure on them. And that line, we've talked a lot about the fourth line, but that third line, the core of it has been Filppula and Komarov all season long. They play so well together. They're very quiet, not flashy, but they've done a lot for these Islanders.
Leo Komarov had not scored a goal since January 20th. He has given the New York Islanders a 3-1 lead with just over 9 minutes remaining. Komarov had gone 36 games without a goal. Sidney Crosby controls for the Penguins. Backhand shot sticked aside by Leonard. Now Dumoulin moves the puck in deep. Leddy cuts it off. Tied up by Simone. Leo Komarov has quieted the crowd here in Pittsburgh. Islanders now lead by 2. No icing. 8:40 remaining. Letang shoots in from center. Gloved by Leonard. Now Pelech. Knocked down by Malkin with a high stick. Play blown dead with 8:22 on the clock. The Islanders have taken a 3-1 lead in Game 3. But yes, Tiger did win the Masters. His first victory in a major since 2008, Pierre. That's the year before the first Stanley Cup in the Crosby-Malkin era, the first of 3.
You think about all the physical stuff that Tiger Woods has gone through. What a momentous event in sporting history. Phenomenal what Tiger Woods accomplished today.
Incredible.
And not just today, all the rounds at the Masters. Obviously, it's not an easy course to play. Little scheduling difference. Look out.
Puck out in front, and that was kept away from Cizikas.
Because of the weather issues down in Georgia, a little scheduling thing. I think the first time they've ever done that, isn't it, Kenny, today? They teed off at 7:30, off both nines, played threesomes on the last day.
And for Tiger, his first Masters victory since 2005, finished at 13 under. That's your range, Pierre, right?
Yeah.
Guess not.
I wish. Thanks, Kenny. Thanks, AJ.
7.5 to play here in Pittsburgh. Puck rolls off the stick of Nelson. Islanders with a 3-1 lead. Kuhnhackl tripped up. Nelson on the puck. Towards the net, off the stick of Kuhnhackl.
I know the Penguins fans aren't happy with their team. This is all about the Islanders. This is surgical how well they're playing. I mean, they've just taken the enthusiasm right away from the Penguins with this arduous style that they're deploying. Phenomenal.
Hornquist, sticked aside easily by Leonard. Pelech with the puck. Pushed off by Hornquist. Gensel in front, looking to set up Crosby, and now a penalty as Pelech and Hornquist get involved.
Well, Pelech's going to get the first penalty, and I don't know what's going to happen after that, but you see Pelech and Hornquist battling away. The push down by Hornquist. He's frustrated, a real emotional player.
And that hit of Hornquist initially, even before the scrum, created an opportunity for Gensel in front. And if nothing else right now, this will get the crowd back into it. Get a little bit of emotion here.
Well, it's interesting what they're doing. Pellick's getting a holding penalty, and I think Hornquist's getting a roughing penalty. And then let's go to the other end of the ice, AJ and Kenny, and watch what happens. Matt Murray goes to play the puck, and then a little turnover, miscommunication. Matt Martin out front, and look at Marcus Pettersson. The long stick of Pettersson denies that centering pass, because if that gets there, it's 4-1, and Casey Zizekas is on the score sheet.
When you look at Matt Martin getting in there and putting pressure on Matt Murray, the goaltender, with that play right there. Matt Murray obviously out of position. Would have been a sure goal without Pettersson.
There's Leo Komarov. He scored the third goal for the Islanders from Beauvillier and Filppula at 10:27. Teams now skate 4 aside with Hornquist and Pellick in the box. Islanders have now outscored the Penguins in the third period in this series 4-1. Teams were tied in the third period in game 2. Islanders scored twice for the victory. Clutterbuck holds, taking some time off the clock. Now it's Leddy, 6:35 remaining.
They're in clock awareness mode right now, recognizing coming to 6.5 minutes left, knowing the strength that the Penguins have. They've got to get it in the other end.
Here's Pettersson. Pierre, once again, great stick work, this time Zizekas.
Yeah, and he won that initial draw. So you think about when the initial draw started, and the Pittsburgh Penguins haven't had a chance to get a shot on goal because of it.
Here comes Leddy. Out to Filppula, and then Taves. 6 minutes on the clock. These teams finished 3 points apart in the regular season. Here is Filppula, holds, flips one on goal, and that's handled by Murray. Islanders with home ice advantage won the first 2, 3-1 lead late in period 3, game 3. CSN, Winnipeg, St. Louis, 7:30 CNBC, game 4 of this series Tuesday right here, 7:30 NBC SN. Islanders with a 3-1 lead. If they hang on and win this game, we can predict what will come out of the mouths of both Barry Trotz and Mike Sullivan in their post-game press conference. We have to take it one game at a time. Fourth one is always the hardest to win. And
what Barry said after the first game, he said, I expect another game 1 on Friday night. Another game 1 here, and then he'll look for another game 1 on Tuesday.
5:45 to play. Here's Letang with the Penguins trailing by 2. Out in front, kept away from Crosby. And then Brock Nelson moves it into the Penguin zone. Tied up by Dumoulin. Gensel over to play the puck. Around to Letang. 5.5 remaining. Islanders with 2 goals in the first after the Penguins scored first. And then Komarov here in period 3. Filppula clears the puck out. Teams continue to skate 4 aside for 20 seconds. Gensel cross ice for Schultz. Around over the stick of Gensel. Waiting for it is Letang. Here's Gensel. Letang. Gensel spinning on Eberle. Penalties expire. Both teams back to full strength. Shot by Schultz. Misses the net high. Final 5 brought to you by Rocket Mortgage. Islanders lead the Penguins 3-1. Here is Eberle with a shot. That deflects out of play.
Well, the fans are starting to leave here in Pittsburgh. Part of the reason why the surgical performance of the Islanders, defensively and offensively, an example of their defense, teeth of death. Watch them. They just lure you in and they take you off the puck. They're that well prepared. They're doing an excellent job chipping and chasing. And then offensively, Brock Nelson off the turnover and the pinch by Justin Schultz. Ryan Pulock, beautiful pass over to Jordan Eberle. And this Islander team is for real. Anybody doubting them, better stop. They're for real.
Their head coach won the Stanley Cup last June with the Washington Capitals. And he is certainly a leading candidate for the Jack Adams Award as NHL Coach of the Year. He won it back in 2016. Simone flips one over the stick of Bukestad. Battle for the puck behind the Islanders' goal. as we hit 4 minutes remaining in period 3. Goodbranson with a shot blocked in front. Aston Reese back out. Goodbranson this time blocked by the stick of Barzell.
Adam Pelech took that shot. He's doubled over a little bit. A lot of shot blocks by the Islanders here in this game today, and here's one of them by Adam Pelech. You can see him getting off, and he's standing there, standing his ground. Zach Aston Reese on the defensive side, good position by him, and then he's saved a little bit by that deflection up and out of play so he can get himself to the bench.
Cizikas and Cullen to the left of Leonard. Matt Cullen asked to leave the circle. Hornquist steps in. Cullen, the best faceoff man for Pittsburgh over the first 2 games. Shot by Goodbranson was blocked in front. Puck comes to Matt Martin with 3:45 to play, and he sends it softly into the Pittsburgh zone. Dumoulin back to retrieve.
Being down 2 goals, you got to think the Penguins are going to pull Matt Martin pretty quick here if they don't score.
Agree.
Oh, I misspoke. Matt. They're not going to pull Matt Martin. They're going to pull Matt Murray. My apologies.
I knew what you meant.
I just want to clear it up.
Easy to do. Easy to do.
My apologies.
Matt Martin on the ice. Number 17 for the Islanders with the puck. Chips it around Goodbranson. Both teams make changes. We approach 3 minutes remaining. Malkin on the ice with Crosby, Pierre.
Goalie out.
Murray off to the bench. Adam Pelech with the puck. Komarov. Now Malkin. Here comes Letang. Off the stick of Crosby, Leonard covers.
Good job by Leonard recognizing them coming down, wanting to not play that puck. A couple times he's played it, kept the action moving, and he's been able to control it, control the pace of the play, get the changes if they need it out here. The Islanders from the goalie out. We've talked about their defensive zone structure. That's been the key word all season long with Barry Trotz. And it really does start with the goaltenders. And Kenny, you mentioned it earlier. He wasn't sure what he was going to get when he took over last summer with the goaltenders. Robin Leonard was an unknown for him, and they have been so much better than he expected.
6 skaters on the ice for the Penguins. Crosby with a shot. That gets blocked. Nelson over for the Islanders. Taken away by Crosby. 2.5 to play. Penguins trail by 2. Kessel flips the puck along. Mayfield has it. Puck rolling down into the Penguin zone.
Mayfield had another huge shot block as well, Kenny and AJ. It wasn't just that first one you saw. There was another one that he made.
Phil Kessel shaken up, heading off to the Penguins bench gingerly. Puck knocked down at center by Malkin. Taken away by Lee. Now Malkin. 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd period. New York Islanders with a 2-0 lead in the series. 3-1 advantage here in game 3. Letang with 1:45 remaining. Here's Crosby. Dropping it off for Malkin. Crosby met by Boychuk. Malkin with the puck. Malkin out in front. It was kept away from Gensel. Cleared down ice by Lee. Rolling for the empty net and in.
Well, he was Mr. Football when he played at Edina High School, and this is the ultimate long bomb for the New York Islanders. Anders Lee's gonna take this puck and say, I'm gonna airmail it. Long bomb action, Kenny. And you can see what that means to Nick Bjugstad and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Dagger through the heart of the Penguins, and jubilation on the other bench for the New York Islanders. As we said before, AJ and Kenny, this group is for real and they believe.
But a lot of appreciation for that man there. Captain, named captain before their first game of the season, and couldn't have picked a better guy to lead this group.
His first career postseason goal into the empty net to give the Islanders a 4-1 lead. Only 4 teams in NHL history have come back from 0-3 deficits to win a best-of-7 series. The last, the Kings, and they went on to win the Stanley Cup in 2014. Islanders did it to the Penguins back in 1975 after Pittsburgh had taken a 3-0 lead. Chico Resch in goal. Had the shutout in Game 7 at the Civic Arena, the old igloo here in Pittsburgh. Teams that take a 3-0 lead have gone 186-4 in those series.
Tough emotional battle to think of going three games in the hole. So we've seen it has been done.
So Pierre, what adjustments must the Penguins make for Game 4 on Tuesday?
Well, I would say getting Malkin with Crosby would start, trying to get the team to play with more pace, get the lead and don't give it up. Don't take penalties. You got to find a way to get to the net. I mean, they're just not getting to the net at all. It's a very frustrating style to play against. The Islanders deserve all the credit. People are going to pick on the Penguins. The Islanders have been world class. They really have been.
We saw after Game 1, Mike Sullivan tried to shake things up in practice. He had them play with their opposite hand stick, try to get them to have a little bit of fun. We saw some smiles, but it hasn't translated to the way that they played. And we've heard Barry Trotz talk about the joy that his players are playing with. Mike Sullivan's group seems heavy. They seem like they are feeling the weight of all the expectations that come with being a Pittsburgh Penguin.
I love what Barry Trotz said to me in the second period during the interview. They're playing for one another. That's what I appreciate the most, and he's bang on.
And remember what so many of these Islander players told Barry Trotz on the phone after John Tavares signed with Toronto. They said, we are better than just one player. And the Islanders have taken a 3-0 lead on the Pittsburgh Penguins. A 4-1 victory in Game 3. Sidney Crosby still without a point over the first 3 games of this series. Islanders with a chance to wrap it up on Tuesday night. Time now for our sprint 3 stars of the game.
Well, the Islanders played such a team defensive concept, but Robin Lehner has to lead the charge because of that. He was so solid, and that gave the team confidence. They knew that he was back there so solid. Of course, Brock Nelson with his game-winning goal, but more than that, his stick position, his body position, and Jordan Eberle, 3rd goal in 3 games of this series.
Brock Nelson, the game winner. He's with Pierre.
Thanks a lot, Kenny. Did you ever think you'd be up 3-0 in this series, young man?
The mindset's just been kind of taking it shift by shift, game by game. Just sticking to the process, and right now we've done a good job of that. Sticking to our guns, which is playing tight defense, good goaltending, and getting a lot of offense from a couple different guys.
One of the things that's really apparent is the matchup you're playing against Sidney Crosby. What's that like? Take us inside the matchup.
It's tough. Obviously, he's a gold standard. Lots of respect for him. Heck of a player. Just got to play tight defensively, be smart, manage the puck, try not to give him any transition.
Your entire career, you've been a New York Islander. What's different this time around?
Yeah, I think everybody's has bought in. Obviously, we had a lot of doubters early on in the year. Nobody really expected us to get to this point, so we've kind of used that as motivation right now. And like I said, we're just taking it day by day and enjoying the process.
The last time you won a series, you beat the Florida Panthers. Now you got a chance to knock out the Pittsburgh Penguins. How do you do that?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Obviously, their season's on the line, so got to expect their best. Keep raising our level. Weather the storm here on the road right away early, try to stay out of the box, play 5-on-5.
Anything you want to say to the people in War Road?
I just hope they're enjoying the ride back there.
Thanks a lot, Brock.
Thanks.
Kenny.
Thanks very much, Pierre. Brock Nelson with the game winner in the first period. Islanders would add 2 in the third. They defeat the Penguins 4-1. Thanks for watching the Stanley Cup Playoffs presented by Geico. For A.J. Malesko and Pierre McGuire, along with our entire crew, this is Kenny Albert. So long from Pittsburgh. Now to the studio, Liam.
ICENET. Dynasties live here.
Long Island's best team for insurance. Go for National Security Brokerage. You'll feel secure with National Security Brokerage. Let's go Islanders.